Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is my review for The Beekeeper.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews.
Don't make me destroy you.
So, The Beekeeper, starring Jason Statham, directed by David Ayer, who you will have obviously heard of before with obviously the Suicide Squad, or Suicide Squad, whichever title it was, and all the malarkey around that. And this film is exactly what you think it's going to be. It's an action film starring Jason Statham as the lead character in this feature, and essentially the plot involves Jason Statham living a solitary life on what I believe is a farm, living with a woman who runs a charity organisation. He's keeping bees, if you didn't feel that already. He's looking after bees on this farm, which is used to, I guess, expand the profits of this charity organisation. And unfortunately, this poor lady is scammed out of $2 million. And in her absolute despair, she commits suicide. Following this, Jason Statham, who plays the character called Adam Clay, a typical action movie name, excellent, we love it, and he goes on a brutal revenge streak to find out who was responsible for doing this and bring them to justice in the most brutal and bloody fashion you can imagine. And what adds to this craziness is that it's revealed that Adam Clay is a member of a clandestine organisation called the Beekeepers, who protect the hive and will fight for the hive until the very end, even so much as sacrificing the queen if they need to. And this mission of his, this vengeance, this brutal vengeance streak, takes him to the highest powers of the United States government. It is a plot that's straight out of the 80s, but you know what? It's a bloody good time. As ridiculous as this film is, you can't fault how honest it is. You can't fault how utterly retro it is. It's a very retro film. It feels very retro in its plot, in its devices, the way that it deals with the villains. The action set pieces are, as you would expect, bombastic throughout, but they cater to Jason Statham's clear style of martial arts capabilities. His skill level is just through the roof. We all know this. Anybody that's followed Jason Statham over the years, whether it be fully or whether you dip in and out of his movies like I do, you're aware of every single bit of skill and quality that he has. He's not exactly the most charismatic performer sometimes, but he has that air. There is an air of charm and honestness to his performances, and I think that's why he sells his movies so well. You know exactly what you're going to get from him, and there's nothing else, nothing less, and nothing more. It is what it is, and it's enjoyable. It's an absolute enjoyable romp. What more is there to say, really? It also features Jeremy Irons, of all people. I did not know he was in this film. I didn't see the trailers, to be quite honest, before jumping into this film. But Jeremy Irons is in this film playing sort of like a middleman kind of role. It's very strange. And then you've got Josh Hutcherson, who ends up becoming the somewhat figurehead as the evil bad guy. But again, it's the dispatching of henchmen throughout this film that really sort of sells the point. There's not much else to it beyond that. It goes from 0 to 100 pretty much straight away, and for a film that's just over 90 minutes long, it's exactly what you want. You don't want it hanging around. You don't want it waffling and talking nonsense. There's wacky fun. There's wacky moments throughout it. And like I said, this whole idea of this clandestine organisation, it's another impossible missions force from the Mission Impossible film, if you want to put it that sort of way. That's the way it seems. It's just this organisation that exists in the background that nobody knows about, but yet everybody does know about, and they just go about their business and strike fear into the hearts of everyone. Is it entirely great? No. I think there are a few too many sticky moments throughout. It doesn't really stick the landing. I think the ending is a bit of a whimper, to be quite honest. Even though we build up to such, a crescendo of action, it kind of just falls a bit flat. Is it lining itself up for a sequel? Abso-friggin-lutely.
Cause let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel. Ah! Ah!
And maybe that's the problem in of itself. I think it doesn't really round out the character at all. Yes, he completes his mission, but you can tell that there's going to be higher stakes and ramifications for his actions. It's very much John Wick in that sense. He disappears off into the sunset, as it were, and you know that's not going to be the end of it. So, does it fall a bit away at the end? Yeah, I think it does, even though we do get a massive action set piece and we get a really, really good bit of choreography between him and another henchman who I believe South African, unless my accents have been misplaced. And it's just Jason Statham, isn't it? We're watching everything that he does. We get signature fights with knives. We get signature fights with his fundamental brilliance of martial arts. And there we go. It's explosive, bombastic, and it's very, very silly. Now, if you're willing and able to indulge in something like that, I needed it after watching a few films the last couple of weeks. And you know what? You need something like this every now and again. It's not going to change the world. It's certainly not going to change the action movie genre, because it does fall into similar tropes that we have seen before. This is a tale that's been told many, many times before. In some cases, much better. The revenge plot, John Wick, much better film. But again, you can't fault exactly what's on screen. So, well worth a watch if you're a massive Jason Statham fan. If you're a huge fan of action movies in general, then again, it's worth checking out. Will it be remembered in the long run? I highly doubt it, but an enjoyable action movie romp nonetheless. I would give this film a generous 7 out of 10. Am I looking forward to a sequel? I don't really know. I'll probably forget about it by the time it comes around, but I think we will end up getting one anyway. So, a 7 out of 10. Yeah, there we go. Now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this. Trying to spread the wings a little bit, trying to engage more with everyone. So if you did like the video, please do leave a comment. Have you seen this film? Are you a fan of Jason Statham? Do you like action movies? Where does it rank in your modern action movie genres? Because to me, I think there is a separate genre list for modern action movies and classic action movies. Where does it fit in? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.